Thank you for staying with us. A worker desires is our wage, which is expected to be paid at the appropriate time. Anything short of that is foul play. Street sweepers in Calabar, Municipal, and Calabar South local government areas of Cross River states staged a protest and barricaded the governor's office over 4 months unpaid wages. The angry women in their 50s and 60s, numbering more than 100, littered the front of the governor's office with debris to show their displeasure over delay in payment of salary. Jide, it's so wicked because what these people, if you hear them, they are not well paid. Normally, when you see these street sweepers, they pay them 10, 20, 30,000, and upon that pittance you pay them, you can't afford, to be owing them 4 or 5 months.
So, in this case, these ones were not even earning uniform wages. Some earn 10,000.
I know.
8,500. Yes.
What did you say? Second one?
8,500.
Can you imagine?
And one of them who says she has 8,500 naira actually has 5 kids.
8,500 naira per month.
Whether their salary is 1 million naira per month or 1 billion naira per month, the worker duly deserves his wages. But to pay people slave wages and still not pay regularly. December was the last time they were paid.
How will you survive?
This is absolutely shameful. This is absolutely shameful.
In their 50s
you
and
can't
60s.
be paying people this kind of salary and still fail to pay regularly. Our people are going through a lot too. In this same country, doctors
I want to know the market they will take that
8,500. 5 months salary. Doctors, you owe doctors up to 5 months salary and you expect them to go and be saving lives. A doctor who is not in high spirits, who is not happy, can easily do something that can compromise the life of a patient. So those who think that there's no big deal in failing to pay people's salaries, I don't understand how they think. I don't understand how they think, how some of our governors think, how they can feel comfortable to owe salaries and pensions. It was one governor that said, àwọn tó wà láàyè ò tí gba owó oṣù, àwọn tó ti dòkú tán, àwọn náà fẹ́ gbowó. He's referring to pensioners
not knowing that
as people who are already close to death. So he was saying, those who are alive have not been paid. Those who are close to death are asking for.
You will get to that age one day.
That's why some of them want to steal so much. They want to steal enough for 2 lifetimes, believing that, look, they cannot go to the kind of painful lives that pensioners go through. They line up. You say you are going to do biometrics, they will line up. At the end of the day, they will go back home empty-handed. Some will even die on the queue. The way we treat workers in our country is just not right. Is it not in this same country that workers went on strike and you said you are not going to pay them for that period? And in the same country, the research institutes, they've not worked for about 2 years and they are paying them salary. They too are on strike. But when it came to ASU, you said you are not going to pay.
Well, I think the governor of Cross River State should be ashamed of himself. Ashamed because not only that it's bad that they're not paying, it's not salary, because if you pay somebody 8,500, apparently it's allowance. So for you to ask people
to buy what
at the end of the month, to ask people to do such a tedious job, and you paid 8,500, for somebody like have 5 kids to feed is so unfair. It shows the governor in his own sober moments should know that he has failed the people of his state. And not only that, you now didn't pay the 8,500, the 10,000, the allowance, the stipends that you were paying these people. You refuse to pay it. And part of the problems that I have with our governors is that when you look at a company, the first sign of a failing company is inability to pay salaries. When you run a company and you cannot pay salaries, it means that that company is failing. So if you run a state and you cannot pay salaries of your workers, it's a sign that the financial health of that state is not sound. So in Cross River, I don't know I don't know how the governor will feel to know that people, it has to get to a point that people will come to in front of his office to tell him or to remind him that they've not been paid for 4 or 5 months. It's so unfair and it's so shocking.
You know, for all you care, the governor might not be aware of this. It might just be one other layer of agency that is meant to pay them, or this thing is outsourced. Maybe they don't pay for directly from the state government salary.
It's possible
maybe there's one politician that's like an intermediary.
But whatever it is, I want to believe that the governor was aware. It's either he was complacent in responding to the needs of these people. I don't want to believe that.
But they must have complained.
They must have complained, and it must have reached his ears. I don't want to believe that we owe such category of people for 4 months and their complaints will not get to the governor. No matter what. Somehow, he must be aware. Maybe he was getting set, he had not perfected how he's going to solve the problem, or the files were still being moved from one place to one position to another. But I don't want to believe that he was not aware. Okay, so because I've had to ask the governor a question, and he said, yes, I got to know we are doing our best. I assure you, in no time we'll solve the problem. So if I didn't ask him, I could be in 2 minds as to whether he was aware or he was not aware. But by asking him, he left me with no doubt that he was aware that, okay, that we are going to solve the problem. So the governor, in my view, was aware.
No, of course he's aware, because you see, what they used to do for people like this is they source it out to a company, to a cleaning company.
I'm looking at that possibility.
The cleaning company will take advantage of these poor women and pay them
8,500, 10,000 naira.
So, because if you pay somebody 8,500, it's even wrong, because the minimum wage is supposed to be 30,000.
All their backlogs.
And part of the problem will have been that even the government must have been owing the company that they source it to. You understand? And the company will have advised this woman to say, look, we have tried to convince government. We have tried to convince government to pay us. Government has not paid us.
I even say government is owing them too.
So that they've not paid us to be able to pay you. So try to go and so that they will know that you have not collected the salary. So the government is involved. The government is aware of it, because normally they source it out. In most states, that's what they do. They source it out to some companies who will employ those people. But I think the governor of Cross River State should do something about it. People like this should not behold allowances that they give them. And I think he should do something about how much they are being paid. To pay somebody 10,000 and 8,500 is ridiculous in today's Nigeria.
It's just even like, you know, the banks popularized this idea of outsourcing of skilled staff.
Yeah.
The kind of money they pay such category of workers is slave wages. But their own staff, they pay their own staff extortionate wages.
No, it even happens in bank. You know, in bank,
that's what I'm
sometimes
saying,
you see some of the people that attend to you, when you discuss
they don't even
with
wear
them,
good clothes.
when you discuss with them, they will tell you that they are contract staff. There are a lot of contract staff in banks.
Yes, that's the point I was making.
There are a lot of contract staff in banks.
That was the point I was making, that this outsourcing of skilled labor, that banks made it popular.
Yeah.
Just so that their own profit.
To reduce their own costs.
Their own profit will begin to widen, you know, so that they can make more money. You now see that in most cases, those are the people they use as tellers and the rest of them.
And
you know?
those
At the end of the day, they will have, they will make a lot of money.
All right.